Greetings. Today your shirt matches the color of your eyes very well. Horizon, the boundary of heaven and earth that may or may not intersect with...
Hello there! I know the moon, and this is an alien city. So long lives this, and this gives power to be. It's alright. Je vois. Qu'est-ce ça? Each moment, now night. Your fate is doomed! Sempre caro na sequestermo cole. It's alright. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. Come on, stand up. There's one around.
Horizon, the boundary of heaven and earth that may or may not intersect with the Earth's surface. Useful to measure the radio waves, and useful to make people feel better.
I'm so glad we meet again. When you were gone, I collected every hair of yours and put...
I thought it was an academic debate. As
Be
expected.
serious. Stay focused.
No worries. Realm turns into realm.
Say hello.
Thank you for your cooperation. Relax.
Move your legs.
Your ending is fated. Hope I remember.
Be serious. Stay
No
focused.
worries. As expected. Please, don't resist. Stop. Stop. Relax. Your ending is fated. As expected. Thank you for your cooperation. Hope I remember. Your ending is fated. It's happening. Be faithful to the choice of fate.
It's a peaceful moment.
Your ending is fated. Everything has its cause and effect. Realm turns into realm turns into realm.
It will all be fine. Muffin race! I smell the scent of mint oil. That's Cradle! Just like in the training.
As expected.
Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. Huh. Oh. They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Hold on, please, Captain. Seems like the critters are trying to tell us something. They are pointing at the sign of the sun.
Is that so? Even the critters on this island know math. The sun. What if the sun is just here to serve as a reference point? I read an IAU's report in the Times 2 years ago. You know, the International Astronomical Union. Earth's average distance to the sun is approximately 93 million miles. As for Mercury, the average distance is 36 million, and Venus 67 billion miles. Let's say if we take the distance between Earth and the Sun as one astronomical unit, then the distance between the Sun and Mercury would be approximately 0.4 units, and Venus 0.7 units. There you go. These numbers are the ratio of their average distance to the Sun to the Earth-Sun distance.
The average distance from Mars to the Sun is about 142 million miles. Jupiter about 484 million miles. Saturn 886 million miles, and Uranus 1.786 billion miles. By rough calculation, and if we round the results to one decimal place, Mars would be 1.6 unit, Jupiter 5.2 unit, Saturn 10 unit, and Uranus 19.6 unit. That's weird. All these numbers one can hardly remember have become so clear in my mind.
But if these numbers stand for the ratio of distance, what's the planet for 2.8? There's no planet between Mars and Jupiter.
If the Sun is the reference, we will have one planet missing here. Is it really a puzzle unsolvable?
Aha! Nothing is unsolvable. You are looking at the solution. There must be one planet out there, unknown to us as of yet, located between Mars and Jupiter. What now? What is this? A celestial body, which I have never seen before.
Captain, this apple has an impression on this. There is indeed a star between Mars and Jupiter. It is called the Ceres, discovered by Piazzi Giuseppe, an Italian priest in 1801.
Ceres? Did we just validate its existence? Is the universe truly arranged according to this sequence? Could this be the ultimate key of everything?
Regulus! Regulus!
What are you doing? Good food poisoning after accidentally eating one of those critters?
Odd. My head hurts. What was that?
I'll make it short. Stanetta is in detention. They're planning to sentence her to death by giving her the poisoned wine.
They what?
As you can see, this school on the island lives in a box made by the truth. Even if they have a donut in their hands when they are hungry, they still see a topological space. Like the cute ring attached to an initiation toy. It's not food anyways. But if you give them a puzzle, they will enjoy it like the best Kaiserschmarrn. Oh, my apologies. I was not talking about the one you are holding. No. With all due respect, that thing in your hand is pretty old. The mold on it seems to come from the 18th century, judging from the smell. I'm sure you know it will make you sick if eaten. But we have to admit, it is not just ordinary mold. It reminds us of the story in which, once, a merchant's son looked up at the night sky and found the answer to the stars for us. The young man firmly believed that the movement of the stars and the sun follows certain laws. And his point was even proven correct by Zeus's grandfather. When another gentleman observed the sky through the reflecting telescope he took great pains to make, a celestial body was exactly there. What was it called? 19.6. The 8th number in the sequence, the 7th planet in the solar system, and the legendary God of the Sky. If the world was not created by God, are there any theories we can use to explain such a beautiful law? Yes, the one that says it never actually exists. Anyone can see the breach in this number sequence. That is the planet, which is supposed to be the 5th number in the sequence. I mean, how come we have never seen it before, if it does exist? Either God is wrong, or we've been blind all this time. What do you think? Yes, such a planet definitely exists, and as expected, it was discovered in the end. Yes, that's the Ceres. It only took that great mathematician an hour to find its orbit through calculation. Oh, what great astronomy. What great mathematics. What great creation. It was a beautiful dream, but it was still ended, eventually, by another discovery. Not the Ceres, nor the Uranus, but a new planet. People found it through more precise astronomical data and calculation, proving that the number sequence found by the merchant's son was only a myth. Now we are clear of what we've been talking about. It's an unsolvable puzzle. It makes no sense from the very beginning. We found the Ceres because it happened to be there. It is real, and no one can deny its existence. In other words, we can perfectly prove the rationality of mathematics because we invented it. It's been a good dream, I suppose. Now, imagine that you are walking alone in the darkest valley ever, trying to drag your fragile body upward as much as possible before it is worn out. Hoarse cries squeeze their way out of your mouth to ask for a response from the gods. Suddenly, an afflatus dawns on you. The next moment, a miracle happens. You are already at the top of the mountain, witnessing the rise of a huge celestial body from the skyline. Even if it's only in your imagination, you have just witnessed the dawn of the creation, and the shock is real.
An old admonition is engraved here. Let no one ignorant of geometry or the irrational numbers enter. 37 told me you are the integers. She's the genius kissed by the god of truth. She can see our numbers and has never made a mistake. But I don't understand. Why would you break the silence at the meeting?
I apologize, Miss Sophia. I won't defend our behavior.
You may save that apology for later. If you can persuade more than half of the people to vote for your friend's commutation,
Perhaps she won't be sentenced to death. I have gathered some case files from the past. I hope it will be of some help. These files are... But won't you be in trouble for helping us? I have my own reasons. Integers are the living example of virtues, the standard of purification. It represents a soul existing in the world of forms, a true being. It is the floating points behind the decimal which dent the process of our overall purification. The evil, the ones who violate rules knowingly, the ones who turn a positive number into negatives, and a civil person a criminal. If integers like you would lose your life over some unintentional mistakes, wouldn't it be a great shame? Besides, I can't stand the idea of you being killed in front of me.
Not rigorous. For one thing, we still don't know Vertin and Sonetto's numbers. For another, the fact that every crow we've seen is black doesn't necessarily entail that the next crow will also be black. Even if every virtuous person we met has been an integer, we can't be certain that the next one will still be an integer. Same case for irrational numbers.
You're right, 37. But people always tend to believe that virtuous people are integers. That is what we call belief.
Correct, but not entirely correct. Everyone can make mistakes. Numbers are just numbers. They are not associated with virtues.
Unlike me, you're always right, 37.
I don't know what differs us.
Will you be at the assembly?
Yes.
Then I will leave them with you. I'm not qualified to set foot in the Hall of Truth. I have done poorly in receiving the guests. I will ask 6 for my punishment after the assembly.
Huh? So you are not coming back to my laboratory? Neither will you help me review the calculation results or sort out the books?
The scripture shall not be challenged. What's more, any students here can help you in the laboratory. It doesn't have to be me.
Had I known, I would have let someone else welcome Vertin and her friends. Like 210. He loves to brag to young ladies so much that he would take the punishment willingly, right?
You were that someone else who was assigned to receive them in the first place. If I hadn't stopped you in time, how much longer would Regulus's head have stayed in your mouth? Not to mention what happened last time, and the time before that.
But the fact that I have messed up all the receptions before doesn't mean I may excel in the next one. The chances of messing up the first reception and the 100th reception are the same.
Whatever you say, you little sophist.
Everyone says so. But compliments won't help her find her number. So, Vertin, are you ready for the debate?
Does that mean you will help us?
Of course. I don't want to miss the chance.
What chance?
The chance to see your numbers. There's no greater knowledge than the knowledge of oneself. And there's no more exciting truth than the truth of oneself. I can quickly tell which types of numbers you are, but it requires proof to know the exact number of your soul. I want to know the answer before you see your own numbers. So it's 37 who proves it, not Vertin.
I'd be glad to give this chance to you.
That's boring. Let's go, Vertin. The assembly's about to start.
Don't worry, Timekeeper. I'll defend myself. Back in the Foundation, I once won a public debate of a similar nature. This is my duty. I won't let it get in the way of the team's investigation.
Sonetto.
By our tradition, Miss Sonetto will be given the poisoned wine, so she will be muted and stay that way forever. However, Sophia raised her objection against the decision. After giving the matter some discreet thought, I have decided it is necessary to hold an assembly and take care of it democratically. Those of you who agree to the death sentence may remain seated. Those of you who wish to commute Miss Sonetto's punishment, please put your pebble into the pot in the middle of the hall. Now, Miss Sonetto, Miss Vertin, you may defend yourselves. Until the sand in this hourglass falls to the bottom.
I am Sonetto from St. Pavla Foundation. I wish all the honorable audiences here would lend me their ears to hear my defense as a humanitarian gesture.
What number are you? Defendant, the court requires an answer. What is your number?
What? No, I don't have a number.
Don't waste our time. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. All her words are void. Sentence her to death now.
Forty-two's argument is valid. Defenders, what do you wish to contend?
What? It's valid? Objection! According to the record, the last time we inflicted severe punishment was in 1980 to a visitor who ate beans. He ate a carbuncle that feeds on beans. Then he was sentenced to death according to the set theory. In our scripture, eating beans is the most evil sin, which undoubtedly fits the most severe punishment. But if we are now executing people for breaking the silence at the assembly, how would it reflect our attitude towards the consumption of beans? Has the latter become less sinful? I suggest Sonetto's punishment to be commuted.
A good argument.
37's argument is deemed valid. The debate will continue.
Objection. The punishment for eating beans is to throw the offenders into the Gorgon current, while the punishment for the silence breaker is to drink poisoned wine. Among all the punishments we have, there's no other punishment more dreadful than being thrown into the Gorgon current. Because eternity and infinity are the two things we have the least knowledge of, which makes them the most ghastly punishments among all. Giving her the poisoned wine doesn't make the consumption of beans less sinful. Her argument is invalid.
Objection! Both of the crimes would fall into the same category if we are taking the punishment as a frame of reference, which is death.
Objection. The two crimes in question are not commensurable, which makes your comparison invalid.
What's this? I'm completely lost in this irrational debate. I see. So that's how it works. Timekeeper?
Relax. I will help you.
I object.
Anyone else? Is she here?
Hold your horses. I'm coming.
Hey, hello there. I'd like to start by quoting 42's first argument. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. In that case, it's not possible for Sonetto to commit a crime in the Hall of Truth. Because she can't even be in the hall.
What?
Good point, Vertin. This is our chance to out-argue them. Be serious. Stay focused. Move your legs. Go, go! That was lightning. Be serious. Move your legs. That was lightning. Be serious. Stay focused. That was lightning.
These are merely clumsy sophisms. We've all seen her break the maxim.
Objection! What you see cannot be submitted to the court as a transcendental fact. It's nothing but the fragments of the phenomenal world which can't be used in your argument. Since Sonetto has no number, and a person without a number does not exist before the truth, Sonetto thus didn't offend your truth. She didn't break any rules.
Just like some play with us. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. Say hello!
Objection! The rule breaker has a number. We can all tell that she is very likely an integer. Therefore, she should be identified as an unknown number, not void. Your sophism has failed.
42's argument is held valid. Is there anything else you'd like to add, defendant?
Tell you a secret, Vertin? We would call criminals negative numbers.
I got it!
Be serious. They move your legs. Cradle. Just like in the... Be serious. Stay focused. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. That was lightning.
It is easy to prove Sonetto's innocence. According to the law of the excluded middle, Sonetto either committed a sin or committed no sin. The two statements cannot be both false at the same time. Since we consider a criminal as a negative number, and a non-criminal as a positive number, Sonetto at present is considered an unknown number. That means she doesn't belong to the criminal set, or the non-criminal set. She did not commit a sin, and did not commit no sin. It's a paradox. I hereby demand to modify the criminal sentence that has been given to Sonetto.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
The law of excluded middle. A good sophism. Good for you to create a paradox from one sentence of my argument. But pitifully, you've made a fatal mistake. You've taken my argument as the basis of your defense. I said people without a number should be expelled from the... You don't have a number either, Mist Outsider. Based on my argument, which has also been approved by you, I argue that all your arguments are invalid.
There's no time left.
Vertin has a number. I saw it.
What? 37, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah. I read her number.
just now. 13's number is 0.
Come closer. That pad of paper from the miss? Yes, the one wielding the ruler is quite valuable. I can tell it is of a certain age and records quite a lot of anecdotes. One visitor to the island took out a baguette from his luggage. To share it with others, he made an attempt to parcel it off. Another visitor fell to the ground and happened to sit on a quart measure and break it. You can learn the punishments for them from the paper. The former was thrown into the sea, while the latter into the further sea. Only God knows how this wine-dark sea holds so many visitors. The debate! That's really a pain in the neck for that logical, pragmatic assistant of yours, isn't it? People always tend to mark what they can't figure out as arcanists' doings, as if thinking. But it won't change the fact that the debate is only a game involving sophistry, improvisation, and straw man fallacy. So what makes... Anyways, whoever fools the others first will win the game. No arcanum at all. And that argument of hers is the best attraction for the audience. A special number. A 0. You are neither positive nor negative, which means you don't belong to either side. Now, imagine one side as an orderly line and the other as those wandering around. The wanderers can smell the abnormality in you, and of course, no one in that line sees you as one of them. In a restaurant, fruits are served without the seeds. But in a farm, the seeds are retained for the next harvest. Is there any value in the seeds? It depends on what you see when you look at them. The moment you realize that, you have come to the crossroad of fate. Now, back to the number we just talked about. Oh my! It's the prediction of your whole life. Can you believe that? You owe that spirited little genius a thank you. By the way, what do you see in her number? I always know you're a quick learner. You're very good at noticing new things. That's right. 37 is only 37. A nice unique prime number which equals the word genius. At least everyone prefers to think this way. Why not deify the one that is able to reach the truth when you have the chance? It's much easier to pin your hopes on others than to blame yourself. I guess you also did that, right, darling? It's okay. She never says no. She just lets the hopes pile up on her shoulder because she simply doesn't care at all. What a good child.
are rational numbers. 4 is above all. Intersect and divide. Welcome to the world of numbers. Welcome to the world of numbers. Intersect and divide. Uh-huh. Welcome to the world of numbers. Four is above all. Time to check my calculation.
"37. You just said Vertin's number is 0. Do you know what it means?
Very clearly.
Would you be able to submit proof to Apeiron?
No problem.
Half of you in this hall have put in the pebbles. If 37's argument is found to be true, every argument Vertin has spoken in Sonetto's defense will be deemed valid. I will announce the result once 37's proof has been validated by Apeiron. Thank you for your time.
Sonetta, Timekeeper, I'm so... I failed.
What happened to her? Come here, little girl. We need to move her outside. Lie her down on the ground and wipe her palm and feet with dew and peppermint oil. That would be okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The distinguished number 0. I'm kidding. I'm 210. Well, Instead of the number, I prefer people call me the rhetorician.
I've heard your preachment. Pretty demagogic.
That's how logic works. With logic, I can prove that you'd cease to exist in the next moment, or that there are no other people in this world except me. Achilles can never outrun a tortoise, and a flying arrow is forever motionless. This debate is nothing but meaningless wordplay. That pacifist let you off this time. 6. A perfect number indeed. For he knows the benefit of reconciliation. Who wants to have blood on their hands and be devoured by the cycle of hatred? Yet it's a torture for any intelligent mind to hear such an immature debate. Can you feel the suffering of our leader now? No apology needed, Miss Outsider. I also feel sorry for your pain, given that 37 has revealed your number.
What do you mean?
37. Our evil little genius. The most cunning star of Hermes. She's been having fun revealing others' numbers for a long time. Our numbers are our essence. And it's also the most important proof we get once in our lifetime. But she enjoys taking that opportunity away from you. Just because her talent allows her to do so. She did that to her friend, too. She found out Sophia's number. But without casting an eye on that paper with her number on it, Sophia threw it into the sea. Sophia is Sophos. But you... I pity you.
It doesn't seem like trouble to me.
Alas, poor little Vertin. You still don't understand. The number of our souls suggests our fate. It might be changed through algorithms temporarily, swirling, shifting, or transforming alongside other changes occurring on the coordinate axis. But in the end, we can only be ourselves. 1 is thought. 2 is opinion. 3 is wisdom. 4 is strength. 5, enthusiasm. 6, harmony. 7, order. 8, philanthropy. 9 is restraint, while 10 is completion. 0, however, is in the middle of the axis, the origin of the frame of reference. It's neither positive nor negative, neither prime nor composite. Things are ever changing, but you stay the same. Your loneliness also lasts forever. This is your fate. Being exposed in full view of the crowd, yet you know nothing about it. 37 was acting on impulse. Yet she opened Pandora's box. She leisurely reveals your fate. That carefree behavior makes no difference to picking up a shell on a beach. How could I not pity you?
Ms. Vertin. 37's proof has passed the review. Your friend will now be exempt from the punishment for violating the rules. However, she has to take some catch-up lessons on the scripture. Please, meet me at the hall tomorrow at noon. I would have words with you. Before this negotiation begins, I wish to tell an allegory to the two of you. A group of people were imprisoned in a cave. Behind them, there was a fire. Before them was a tall, solid wall. Their legs and necks were chained and fixed, so they were constrained to look nowhere but to gaze at the wall in front of them. When they dropped their eyes, they saw their own body. When they looked up, the The flickering light of the fire fell over them, and they only saw the shadows of what was passing behind them. No one had lived one day outside the cave. The shadows cast on the wall all there was to be perceived as reality. They had no knowledge of the real world. One day, one of them escaped from the cave, walked into the light, and saw the true world with his own eyes for the first time. Everything he saw or felt in the cave was nothing more than a mere shadow of the object's true form. Our world is a poor one, Miss Verton. The phenomenal world is the cave in this allegory, where we are surrounded by shadows or some humble fractions of the truth. It is ugly, frivolous, filthy, perishable, subject to decay, and filled with hollow desires and meaningless struggles. Only the wise can walk out of that cave and see the world as it truly is. In that eternal, transcendent world, everything is in its most perfect form. I pray that you, Miss Verton, the representative of St. Pavlov Foundation, and you, Miss Arcana, her counterpart of Manus Vindictae, would pay heed to my words. Everything you've been fighting each other for means no more than some fragments of phenomena to us. There's only one thing worth doing. That is, to seek higher wisdom, develop one's virtue, and achieve greatness in life. We have never set foot on the soil dampened by the storm, nor have we ever been involved in the disputes brought by the torrents of time. I beg you, do not take your conflict in the phenomenal world into the realm of truth.
For certain. It was never my intention to sully the sanctuary of truth.
Then, to prevent a situation like this from happening again, I would like to ask you two to carve your names on these 2 stone bangles and drip a drop of your blood on each of them. Once the bracelet is put on, no one will be able to remove it. From now on, as long as you're on this island, none of your people will draw blood from one another, or the bangle shall draw all the blood from you. The peace agreement is so decided.
I appreciate that. I'll sign it. The peace.
Lady Verton, we meet again. I wish the best to thy friend.
She's doing well, thanks to you.
You're most welcome. Thou shalt quench, for times hath changed. I would not wish to shed even a drop of Arcanist's blood in vain.
But Schneider should be the victim of a merciless bullet?
Verton, my pitiful child. Did you forget? That merciless bullet cameth from a gun never belonging to me.
What's Manus Vindictae's purpose to be here?
Hearken the archaic wisdom, just as thou doest. I am not surprised. I adore thy visage, Lady Verton, emotionless in the storm. Alas, no man shall bravest the storm and live. Including thee.
A wooden box in the Elitiaus base has my name on it. Was that your doing?
Sadly, it wasn't. I hope thee findeth the answer satisfactory.
It's burning.
Is that Miss Arcana? Miss Arcana, please, don't go! Save us! And save us!
No! Come back! Come back! You ignorant foreigners! I just started introducing vectors and matrices, and that's the most interesting part! Vertin! Great! You always show up at the right time and right place. Stop the mass people! Whatever it takes!
Be prepared.
Silence.
I'm here for a warm tooth.
I will assist you to keep the battle under control. Forward!
An eye for an eye.
Target locked.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Be serious. Stay focused. Ha! Say hello. Hang in there.
A tooth for a tooth. An eye for an eye.
Forward!
The law is above all else.
Please don't worry about me.
A tooth for a tooth.
What's your legs? Ha!
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
That was lightning. Just like in the training.
An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth.
Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all.
Noble or lowly, sin, noble or lowly, sin shall be punished.
Resistance is futile.
Hang in there.
Off thou go.
This is Eagle. Target found.
A tooth for a tooth, thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full.
Lost. Take the offensive.
Feeleth pain and knoweth regret.
Dental checker. No worries. Relax. I smell the scent of mint oil. Huh.
An eye for an eye. Noble or lowly, sin shall be punished.
We need some peaceful moments.
A tooth for a tooth.
A tooth, a tooth,
The law is above all else.
Relax.
An eye for an eye.
Huh.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Come on, stand up. There's one around.
They must have tried to fill your little brain with long preachment. But you should feel lucky, because at least they didn't give you a quiz right after that. Oh, how modest you are. Looks like you didn't spend all your student days catching tree frogs. Try to reach the corners of your mind, if you would. And there you will find another bunch of people standing in front of a stone table. Yes, those people in gowns. White gowns with gray diamond patterns. One of them was standing on the stairs, gathering all the little vacant eyes to his side. What was he called? Give me a second. Teacher, instructor, tutor, the educator. Just titles like that. No names at all. No one gets to write down their names on that banner, after all. But they have nothing to complain about. You know what they say? What is reasonable is real. That which is real is reasonable. They showed you a broad avenue in their teachings where you could enjoy a sense of security with all the solid ground, convenient automobiles, and warm sunshine. And at the end of the avenue even lies an inspiring mission, to which you are expected to devote your whole life. There is a distinction between good and bad here, and it's as clear as our innate sense of right and wrong, like a floor of black and white tiles. Any stains on it will be noticed immediately. But in fact, there exists another path in the woods. It's much less traveled, leading to the unknown darkness which cannot be seen with eyes or proved false. You may even experience indescribable chaos and madness there. This path, however, has an excellent view, and it's one of a kind. The plants are thriving with bursting energy, and the flowers are blooming in a delightful atmosphere. So, which will you take? Oh, that's not an easy choice to make. This grandma, you've seen the living proof. Many were freaked out after they came back, and people had to tie and lock them up. Oh, my. That was a... Here's some good news to cheer you up. I'm sure you know that myth. You shall take the soul of your love out of the underworld, yet you shall not look back. The ones with the belief set off. They kept their mouths shut, and they showed frugality, so the beasts continued to lurk in the shadow. Think about what I just said. Never look back in the woods, darling. If you don't want to be turned into a pillar of salt which can do nothing but wail, then never, ever look back. Yes, we'd better stay awake, stay calm, but then there comes the problem. Of course. After all... No. So you'd better let it slip your mind. Just let it go and hurry forward. When you do so, the scenery will no longer mean anything. Is that what you want?
Congratulations, Miss Sonetto. You are the fastest learner of our doctrine among all the visitors in the past half-century. On behalf of all orators, I award you this laurel wreath.
No, I wouldn't have achieved this without your guidance. Those mathematic statements are, but there's still something confusing me, such as Pythagoras and his golden thigh, his memory of the previous lifetimes as the son of Hermes, and the transmigration for every 216 years. Could you please tell me more about these?
Why would people fail to see the charm of the matrices? This is not right. I need to spend more time on teaching.
Anyone, save us! Thus my journey of art is doomed to fail. I really don't want to study maths anymore. Help.
Timekeeper, you are here.
I heard that you completed all the lessons on the scripture. This laurel wreath suits you well.
Timekeeper, I'm sorry. At the assembly, I failed to understand the Arcanist's logic. It was totally different to the debates I have participated in. But now I have...
That was not your fault, Sonetto. It is now behind us. I need to tell you something more important. I've signed a peace agreement with Arcana, and the price of breaking it is... death.
What? So Manus Vindictae is also restrained by the stone bangle like we are.
Yes, she put it on without hesitation. But I don't think her purpose would be as simple as hearkening the ancient wisdom. I attacked Manus' followers earlier as 37 asked me to. But I received no punishment from the bangle. Perhaps this island makes its own judgment on what to be classified as hostility, like it has a mind of its own. Sonetto, do not report this to the headquarters before we figure out how the bangle works. After all, there are many other things to investigate on this island, other than Manus Vindictae.
I see. I will contact Miss Juvis and Miss Moiselle first and keep an eye on Arcana. Timekeeper, this island, the Manus' mask, and your suitcase are all immune to the storm. Does this mean we could collect more asymmetrical nuclide R samples?
I tried to collect some samples last night in the outer region of the island. But the detecting device showed nothing. If we were to find out more, we have to go to the center area.
What are you conspiring now? Do not poke the fire with swords, and do not jump over a crossbar. The assembly will not be held every time when there's a crime. Please take heed of my warning, and do not overstep the line. Learn a lesson from them.
Lilia, didn't you say you have Regulus with you safely?
Apologies, Vertin. I was going to rescue Sonetto through a very creative underground tunnel. But things didn't quite go as planned.
Not a bad innovation for a simple clap on the forehead. If only you didn't miscalculate the location of the explosion.
This apple is grateful that it didn't get blasted into a puddle of apple jam.
Warning. Shell cleaning required. Warning.
I don't know why, but when I was in that cave, ideas kept flooding into my head. Though, judging by the outcome, they weren't all good ideas.
On a routine patrol, I found them trying to break into the cave. I'm not surprised that an irrational number would try to trespass on forbidden grounds. But you two? The integer and the fraction? What were you doing with her? This is a serious crime.
Do we have to go through this debate again? It's okay. I've thoroughly studied the scripture, and this time I'm sure.
Forget it.
Forget it.
It is unwise to waste time trying to understand an irrational number's motive. Besides, we should let the reckless take care of the least important matters. That's it. Regulus, you will come with me to clean the beach.
Huh? Me? Again?
Since you have too many floating points, words of discipline would not work on you. We would have suggested you study with the rest of the students here. Abstain from eating meat, bathe in cold water, rise with the Apollo star, study our doctrine, read the scripture aloud on the beach, so as to remove your floating points and purify your soul.
What? I won't do any of that.
But taking your peculiar character into consideration, I decided that some compulsory labor would be the better option.
Oh, that's the best news of the day. I'd rather clean up the rubbish on the beach than be surrounded by people giving sermons all the time. At least the rubbish doesn't talk gibberish. I'd be dead if you didn't change your mind.
Regulus, studying the scripture is not that scary. They will teach you and guide you until you take full command. Just like taking lessons at school.
Huh? Is that what schools are like?
Haven't you been to a school, Regulus?
Haha! A great pirate would not remember trivial matters as such. So, where were we? Which part of the beach needs to be taken care of by the great captain?
My laboratory.
Whoa! Where did you pop up from?
"37. Aren't you supposed to preach to the visitors?"
I've seen their numbers. A group of negative repeating infinite decimals. They will achieve nothing but to repeatedly step in the river of mistakes. I gave up on them.
Fine. Those of you who are complicit in breaking into the cave will also be sent to labor. Sonetto and Lilia will come with me to patrol. Regulus, you can go clean the lab. As for Verton, you will assist 37 with her study of the emanation. Don't waste more time on the trivial matters of the phenomenal world. Integers. That was the sole reason you were on this island, was it not?
Don't let down your guard. The arcanists on this island are not as easy to deal with as you imagined. Down in the cave, I heard some pretty alluring and intriguing anecdotes.
Miss Lilia, this way. You will cover this area.
Stay on the radio.
Don't worry, Timekeeper. Lilia and I will keep an eye on Manus Vindictae.
We are counting on you, Sonetto. I have a feeling we are coming closer to a big secret.
Dental checkup. Be serious. Stay focused. Move your legs. Be serious. Stay focused.
An eye for an eye.
Stop lightning.
Feeleth pain and knoweth regret.
Race!
No worries. Relax.
Stop lightning!
Thank you for your cooperation. Please, don't resist.
Be serious. Stay
A
focused.
tooth for a tooth. An eye for an eye.
Say hello.
No worries.
Just like in the training. Be serious. Stay focused.
Come back to me.
Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. Say hello.
What? What am I looking at? So your so-called sacred project is this gigantic IDM computer? I was curious about them during my stay in Laplace. Those later versions of the model are so much better than the 66 ones. But this one doesn't seem that far advanced to those. This is not a junk piece the man has sold you, is it?
Items of the phenomenal world are all a waste. This one is long broken. After the emanation, we couldn't find anyone to repair it.
Why do you keep referring to the storm as the emanation? What does the emanation mean?
It is the waves of Numa. We are the expellees of the world of forms. We were banished to this damp and dark cave. Everyone here is obsessed with the fake light on the wall, but forgets to look for the truth. Numa, however, will lead us to escape the cave and return to a more supreme realm.
Eh? You make it sound like we're living in piles of rubbish.
Aren't we?
Of course not. If you ask me, I'd say you have absolutely no idea how wonderful the outside world is, because you have never left here to try it yourself. Dr. Pepper, the music festivals, Rory Storm, the Hollies, and the Rolling Stones. Oh, there are too many to count. If it weren't for this sick storm, I would still be riding a motorcycle in one of those races in London.
Your soul must be pretty contaminated.
And the computer, they can calculate extremely large numbers within seconds, better than hundreds of thousands of you combined together.
In the case of numbers, it's not the bigger the better. Also, this computer has never played a useful part in our study.
Come on, mate. You people just leave it in a cave. It's like sending an infant to the kitchen and waiting for it to bring you dinner. Never mind, you'll see what I mean after I fix it.
Can you fix an IDM Regulus?
No, but I've seen the Laplace people do it. Shouldn't be too difficult, I assume. Oh, the dust! When was the last time you sent people down here to clean? Oh, some critters are nesting here. Oh, did I break into your party? Vertin, come give me a hand. They won't let me touch him.
This trial is mine to judge.
What's your name?
A tooth for a tooth.
Go, go! The eagle's eyes.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Be serious. Forward! Focus. What's your legs? Felt lightning.
Resistance is futile.
An eye for an eye.
Just like in the training. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all.
Forward!
A tooth for a tooth. An eye for an eye.
Hey!
Off thou go. A tooth for a tooth. Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full. Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
The eagle's eyes. Hang in there. This is Eagle. Target found. Come play with us. Lord, take the offensive.
An eye for an eye.
Copy that.
Noble or lowly, sin
Target
shall be
locked.
punished.
Ha! Hang in there.
Dental checker.
Just like in the training. Come play with us. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all. Say hello.
Relax. No worries.
A tooth for a tooth.
Breathe.
Feeleth pain and knoweth regret.
Did I meet your expectations? You fixed it. It's great to have you clean the laboratory, Regulus. Your floating point immediately reduced.
Oh, is that a compliment? Sounds like one to me. Thank you.
It's a wordplay, Captain. Infinity minus any numbers still equals to infinity.
Fine, fine. I should have given up the idea of changing your eccentric sorting system a long time ago. What's the meaning of humans inventing computers if these machines were only left here for some critters to nest in?
Thanks to you, now we can have a look at the previous models, Regulus. But it's a pity since it only has the data before 2003. Everything in the past 4 years has gone missing. This is our chronology, Vertin. From 1999 to 2007, the emanation has taken place 7 times. In the initial 4 years, the emanation has a pattern. First, it brought us back to the 90s, then the 80s, and then the 70s. After that, it suddenly leaped to the 30s. In the subsequent 3 years, it took place twice.
Every record here can perfectly match what is in the Foundation's files. Wait, these are the records before 2003, you say? But this one refers to the storm in 1966, which happened recently.
These are indeed the records before 2003. What's following the records is our forecast.
That's to say, you prophesized the 1966 storm 4 years prior to its occurrence. How is this possible? That you are clever enough to develop such a precise mathematical model, while at the same time you just let the IDM become the home of these critters.
We just worked out the patterns in the number sequences.
You made such precise prediction even without leaving the island. That's incredible.
You don't need to go into a river to find out the pattern of its flow. Moreover, we would send people to observe in the phenomenal world. My mother was one of them. She is the co-author of this model. Nobody knows this computer better than her.
So you have a mother too?
2?
37. Where is your mother now?
Like many people, she was restored to her true form. Since then, I took over this laboratory.
The form, you said? 37? What is it?
What kind of question is this? The form, or the essence, is what's left of you after all the fakeness has been peeled off.
Now we are listening to the New Year collection. The world-famous painting Mona Lisa was found and returned to Musée du Louvre in the afternoon of December 13th. The U.S. Congress passed the Federal Reserve Act on December 23rd, formally establishing the Federal Reserve System. The conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia has escalated. Bulgaria challenged the Bucharest Peace Treaty. Tension is building up over the Balkan Peninsula. In London, futurists gathered under Big Ben, celebrating the upcoming 1914.
This is news of the outside world?
What about on your side?
Well, I am with Sophia. Arcana's still in the hall. She hasn't taken any action so far. Got it. Please keep an eye on the Manus followers. Be mindful of the restrictions set by the Bangle.
Who are you talking to?
Just checking up on Lilia.
Please stay vigilant during the patrol. This is the last place we need to check. We must keep this graveyard clean. Our dead deserve to be left in peace and undisturbed by the phenomenal world.
Miss Sophia, you said this is the graveyard?
Yes, the Geometry Graveyard it is called. 4 years ago, my father was restored to a geometric body on his way back to the island. So was 37's mother, who was also on that ship.
Why are you crying, Sophia?
I was wrong. We calculated it wrong, 37. We miscalculated the impacted area of the emanation. We thought the ships would be safe in the Gorgon current, but the safe area is in fact 5 degrees away. When the emanation happened, the bow of their ship had just entered the safe area. But it was too late. My dad is gone. So is your mom.
I know. But why are you crying? My mom and your dad have come back to us, right?
Have come back? Do you call this coming back? Like this? In the form of geometric bodies? Cold and silent? Being pushed to the shore?
No. They have gone somewhere further. Look at them. These geometric bodies. How pure and how elegant. I've never seen such perfect geometric bodies before. If they are not from the eternal and transcendental world of forms, how should we explain this?
37?
I'm going to study the emanation, Sophia. This is the best chance ever. A transcendental world finally opens its door to us. We will reach our hands to the forms and explore the oldest and eternal laws. Will you help me, Sophia? Next time I will definitely make a better calculation. I promise.
Thank you for assisting 37 with her research, Sinetto.
No, I didn't do anything. Timekeeper knows the storm better.
You have helped us greatly by just coming onto this island. For all this time, 37 has been locked up in the laboratory, refusing to talk to anyone, nor participate in any group study. Since the 2-day emanation in 1929. It is you who helped her revive her interest in other affairs in Apiron.
These are Timekeeper's contributions. I barely did anything.
I can't help 37. Because I don't see the charm of numbers. I lack the perception that an integer should have. That's why I can't see my own number.
The number's charm? Sorry, I have never thought about this. For me, Arcanum is my inborn mission. If you ask me, you are an unbelievably excellent Arcanist. You can flatten the ground, clean up the beach, and rectify errors. You did it in an efficient and precise manner, which is already an advanced ritual.
Any students who have sworn to knowledge can do this easily. They aren't doing my job because they wish not to waste time on these trivial fragments of the phenomenal world. Because they have seen the truth.
The phenomenal world is never complete. Like you can never draw a perfect circle there. No matter how much time you spend on it or how sophisticated your device is, it is impossible to draw a perfect circle in the phenomenal world. Arrows always exist. The floating points after the decimal can be reduced, but not destroyed. The perfect circle only exists in the abstract transcendental world. Of course, anyone in the world can find out the value of pi through the most primitive method. Egyptians, Greeks, Chinese, and Babylonians, they have all tried. They made circles with twine, painted on the ground with twigs, or measured the land with cubit rods, but none of them actually drew a perfect circle. However different their practices were, they found out the sole truth. The approximate value of pi. Because the essence of the circle is hiding in the imperfect manifestation of it. This is the truth. It is eternal, unchanged, pure, and transcendent. Anyone can reach out to it at any time, in any place, by any means, and everyone will get the same answer from it. The forms transcend all matters. The world of matters we live in is being flooded and destroyed by the tides of Numa. When the tides recede, what is left on the beach is the essence.
This doesn't sound right. Let me think. How come your theory reminds me of the Manus Doctrine?
37. We see the storm very differently. Among all the other things, we saw it first of all as a disaster.
But earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, these are also disasters. These catastrophic events happen not because they have a reason to destroy. They just happen in this world, like we do. This is what my mother taught me. She must be proud that she's a perfect geometric body now.
I'm sorry for mentioning your mother.
Why do you apologize, Furton? Are you feeling guilty? This is a very unusual feeling for a number like you.
I don't get it. Why did you say my number is 0?
I just saw it. The numbers of everything and every being would just emerge in front of me. I see it, and I speak it out loud. That's it.
210 told me numbers imply our fate.
Don't believe him, Verton. Numbers are just numbers. I know nothing about fate. Fine. I don't think I like 210. And the feeling goes both ways for us. Because I once said he is a poor number. 210 equals 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. He is the product of all prime numbers between 1 and 10. Looks like he has it all, but he doesn't have any real forte. He likes to sugarcoat himself with metaphors. Only those with a flawed essence would adore the trickery of words.
This is indeed an extreme comment.
And 6 is no better. Every leader of a Pyrrhon has been a 6. 6 is the perfect number since it equals the sum of all its proper divisors. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. But this number has been overrated. He's not that special.
What about your number? What does 37 mean?
I don't know. I am 37. I've known it since I was born. So does everyone else. People told me what it means, but I have never tried to prove their theory. I know very little of fate, so I always think, even if I find out their essences, does it mean I have known them better?
37 once tried to tell me my number. She wrote it down and put it into a bottle, but I couldn't get up the courage to open it. I didn't want to know. I once made a horrible mistake. An unforgivable miscalculation. It makes me worried that I may also be a mistake. So I threw the bottle into the sea. This is how 37 is different from us. We are all prisoners of that cave. Only the wise one can find her way out of the cave and return to rescue the rest of us. I'm the ignorant prisoner who sits, and she's the wise one who returns. I will be crushed into dust by the truth, while she will be the star shining above it. The truth is like the stars in the night sky. Beautiful, but cold. It has been there long before my existence, and will stay that way long after I'm gone. It sheds no tears for the weak, nor laments the tragic fate. It's forever bright, and always moving forward. The person who avoids the truth is not qualified to study it. I'm sorry. My interpretation has been emotional.
No. I think I kind of know how you feel, Miss Sophia. However unworthy you think you are, there must be something we can do. Maybe we can't reach the core of the truth, but we can clean up the path to it for the future explorers. This is our fate.
Interesting insight. I have come to understand why 37 likes you so much. Let us go back to work then. Start from dusting the tombstones.
Alright, I've had enough of these Sol Numa related idle topics. I want to have a look at your model. Wow, seriously? How did you get this far?
This model has been proven wrong. For 4 whole years we had been optimizing it. But the emanation in 1929 only lasted for 2 days, which means our calculation was entirely a failure. That model is just like this computer. It's a piece of junk. And this is all I can present to you.
No, it's not junk. I think I know why your model didn't work.
What?
Manus Vindictae has changed history. They accelerated history, forcing historical events to happen earlier than they were supposed to. Thus, the storm in 1929 occurred sooner than it should.
No way! Controlling the emanation. Changing the history of the outside world. Numa is eternal and transcendental. It won't obey any orders given from the phenomenal world. Neither will it change its patterns because of some fragments.
I'm telling the truth, 37. I've been there, in the storm of 1929. Your model was not wrong. You just missed some key information. You've never been to the place where the storm falls, and thus know nothing about the symptoms of the storm syndrome and the true purposes of Manus Vindictae.
No! That's impossible! Even if there are means to control the emanation, it wouldn't be like this. If this is true, does it mean the phenomenal world, this insignificant phenomenal world, is more transcendental? Mother's model was defeated by this? Vertin, could you give us proof? The proof that Manus Vindictae accelerated history and triggered the emanation.
I swear I wasn't lying.
No, not like this. To prove it in front of Epiron. Go to our sacred place, to the Hall of Truth, in the depths of the cave. There, everyone can see the essence of the world. I beg you, give them your proof, just like how we submit the proof of our soul number.
Come here. I mean it. From Ira, both she and the Keeling were born of... Oh, you're... Look at these handmade fabrics. But they are just people like us. Then you will be in trouble. I like the pragmatic quality in you. Oh, don't be mad. You know, every question... Their duty, no one is capable of doing this job. And she, not... See that? Oh, it's no big deal. There is more than... She left... There she... Without a hope. In the... Yeah, that... In order... She... But anyone can tell... So she... Cut. I know you must be surprised, darling, but we're old friends. Oh, let your guard down. A grandma like me won't be in your way. As you can see, The fog has filled up this place. Now, darling, open the door and go through it. That's what it's, whether it's locked or not. The
Wait a second, just a second. Isn't this still the dungeon? Are you setting us up?
All caves are interconnected. 37, wait. I remember Sophia once told us, no worries. The restrictions were to help us not be distracted by the unimportant details in life. It would be...
Oh, excellent. I will tell it to the Abraxas when it shows up. Hey, 37. Are you sure this is the right way? My heart just sank as if I took a bite of those overnight potato chips.
Are you scared?
Oh, you wish. But when I was exploring underground with Lilia earlier, we ran into some fog like this one. Oh, it doesn't bring you any wanted guests, mind you.
Maybe you were their target because you are an irrational number.
Oh, is that so? You integers will be fine then. Good luck. Don't beg this pirate for help later.
Hold that. Something is... Huh? Rooster, a head with 2 snakes as its feet. Abraxas. That's weird. Why are they here? They're coming for us.
Ha! What did I say? Don't...
Regulus, prepare for battle.
Okay, I know. I was just teasing her.
The stone bangle is activated. But they're just Abraxas. Regulus, wait for their attack. Do not kill them.
What kind of request is...
Listen to me, Regulus. That's of prime importance.
Fine. If it is of prime importance, this pirate will try her best.
I will assist you to keep the battle under control. Thanks.
A tooth for a tooth.
Target locked.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood. An eye for an eye.
Forward.
A tooth for a tooth. Noble or lowly, sin shall
The
be
eagle's
punished.
eyes. Hang in there.
An eye for an eye. A
Be
tooth for a
serious.
tooth.
Stay focused. Forward. Say hello. Please don't worry about me.
An eye for an eye.
This is Eagle. Target found.
Feeleth pain and knoweth regret.
Lords, take the offensive.
A tooth for a tooth.
Just like in the training. Come play with us.
Noble or lowly, sin shall be punished.
Don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all.
An eye for an eye.
Forward! Ha!
Resistance is futile. Off thou go.
Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full.
Dental checker.
An eye for an eye. Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Using troops.
That's it. I still have 10 more songs to play.
These are not the same kind of Abraxas as we've encountered before.
Wait, where is Miss 37?
Hey! Come on, keep up! Did she just take off like that while we fought? Sneaky little. We should leave too, Vertin.
Wait a second, Regulus. Do you sense anything familiar in the fog?
Uh-huh, you bet. This is the first guest room we were put in when we first entered the island.
No, Captain. This apple has the same strange feeling. We saw the rise of Ceres in the same kind of fog. And before that...
That's the same fog as in the Elitiao space.
That is to say... This fog is the cause of our illusion to see the Ceres and the Abraxas' attack.
Don't rush to conclusions. Follow 37 first. Oh, and what's that series you were talking about?
I just picked up a piece of paper. Like this, just bent over and reached to the ground.
What book is it?
Oh, probably just some math problems left from the critter's breakfast. You never know. Wait, the compound of alchemy. The 12 gates lead into the discovery of the Philosopher's Stone. This is that alchemy handbook given to Edward IV by George Ripley. Why is it here?
Look at this, Captain. Of the Great Stone of the Ancients by Basil Valentine. The 112 books by Geber. Emerald's tablet in Latin. Seems like there are more ancient texts about alchemy hidden inside the whole, but they are all incomplete.
Oh, so maybe I need to crack some more crossword puzzles to find out about this.
Our caves endow people with wisdom. Our secret knowledge is hidden in the silent boulder walls. The knowledge in those books is just a drop in the ocean. Follow me, Regulus.
Vertin, you lot go ahead. Go with 37. I will meet you outside.
You want to read these books here?
The knowledge passed down through language can easily be distorted. Compared to the wisdom of a Perron, it's nothing.
No, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going back. Oh, all right. I might as well just admit that your cave indeed has the power to give people insights. If I follow its lead, perhaps I'll finally work out the answer about that little thing I've been carrying with me. Never thought that I'd find the answer here. Easy as picking up a shell on a beach.
What? You don't want to get closer to the truth?
Oh, of course I do. And that's precisely why I don't want to get to it so easily. I don't want it to be fed into my brain. Come on, it's the ultimate truth that we're talking about. If someone just tells me the ending of Lord of the Flies before I enjoy the book, I will throw them into the sea as you people do.
Oh. I only met 2 people who reject the truth. So this is the mindset of irrational numbers. I see. Thank you for being my subject of observation, Regulus. go, Vertin. We have a long way ahead.
Be careful, Regulus.
Don't worry, I know this place well enough by now. After all, I've never been so welcomed in any other place ever. Critters, monsters, creatures with strange heads. Do you worse. This pirate is not afraid of you.
This trial is mine to judge.
Be serious. Stay focused.
No worries.
An eye for an eye.
Relax.
Move your legs.
serious.
A tooth for a tooth.
No worries.
Move your legs.
Please, don't resist.
Shot of lightning.
Relax.
Be serious.
An eye for an eye.
Please, don't resist.
No, no.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
No worries.
A tooth for a tooth.
Just like in the training.
I smell the scent of mint oil.
Noble or lowly, sin shall be punished.
Don't worry. I have prepared it all. I have prepared it all.
Off thou go.
We need some peaceful moments.
Be serious. Stay focused.
Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full.
Say hello.
An eye for an eye.
Relax. No worries.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Please, don't resist. Please, don't resist. Relax. No worries.
A tooth for a tooth.
Lord, take the offensive.
I will pray for you. Sorry.
Dental checker. Say hello. That's Kratos, the evil's eyes. That's Kratos. Phase. Don't resist. Breathe. Please don't worry about me. Thank you for your cooperation. Please don't worry about me. Lord, take the offensive.
I will pray for you. Sorry.
smell the scent of mint oil. Please don't worry about me. Please, don't listen.
Look! Take the offensive!
Did I meet your expectations? assist you to keep the battle under control. Say hello. That's Kratos, the eagle's eyes. Thank you for your cooperation. Breathe. Look! Take the offensive! Come on, stand up! There's one more round! Hey! Hello there! Go! Go! That's right! Target locked. Thank you for your cooperation. I smell the scent of mint oil. Thank you for your cooperation. Look! Take the offensive! Come on, stand up! There's one more round! I will assist you to keep the battle under control. Say hello! That's Kratos, the eagle's eyes. That's Kratos! Come back to me. Hey! Please, don't resist. Hey! Look! Take the offensive! Did I meet your expectations?
Is it really okay doing nothing like this? I mean, when I was at the Foundation, there had never been such a tranquil night. Thank you for teaching me all these things.